Hello students, welcome to the lecture series of microwave and radar engineering. So today we will see what is a microstrip antenna or a patch antenna, and in that one we will see what is the introduction of microstrip antenna, structure of microstrip antenna, different types of patch of microstrip antenna, advantage of microstrip antenna and disadvantage of microstrip antenna. Actually, the microstrip antenna is we have to use in mobile communication, spacecraft, aircrafts, satellite communications. Generally, it is mostly widely used antenna in day-to-day life. In mobile also, we have to use this antenna as a transmitter and receiver because for this antenna the size is less. Again, weight, cost, performance, and else of installations and aerodynamic performance. These are some advantage of microstrip antenna. Again, it has some disadvantage, but that disadvantage is limited, but the advantage is more. That's why we have to use this antenna in multiple applications. In introduction, we will see what is firstly we will see the introduction of microstrip antenna. So in the introduction, we will see what is a microstrip antenna, basic of microstrip antenna, then how we will fabricate the microstrip antenna, what is frequency range of microstrip antenna, um, then we will go for the structure of microstrip antenna. In structure of microstrip antenna, we will see what is the substrate, dielectric substrate, then coaxial feeds, ground planes, and different types of microstrip patch like circular, elliptical, rectangular, square, triangular. And here we will see after the structure of microstrip antenna and working of microstrip antenna, we will see different types of patch of microstrip antenna. So that microstrip antenna is also called as a patch antenna. The patch is a smaller substance, look like a rectangular, circular, elliptical, triangular one, and this patch will be basically mounted on the ground planes. That patch is of different types like circular, rectangular, elliptical, triangular, squares, and afterwards at the end we'll see what is the advantage of microstrip antenna, disadvantage of microstrip antenna, then some more points I have added, that is applications and frequency range of microstrip antenna. In, so we'll go for what is the basic of microstrip antenna. In microstrip antenna, it consists of a rectangular metal patch on a dielectric coated ground plane, that is on the PCB. So it has a PCB, and on that PCB we have to mounted a rectangular patch, and that patch is of basically a metal like substance, and that should be the conducting material. It could be fabricated on a PCB, that is a printed circuit board. It is mostly widely used antenna, like it is used in most applications like mobile signals, satellite, aircraft, then spacecraft. Again, it has a frequency of above 100 megahertz. So above 100 megahertz, whatever the frequency range is there for transmission receptions, we have to use the microstrip antenna. Then in advantages, again, low size, weight, cost, performance, else of installation used in spacecraft and aircraft. Afterwards, we will go for a structure of microstrip antenna. So in structure of microstrip antenna, you will see this is a ground plane, or we will call this one as a PCB, that is a printed circuit board. It has some substrate, that is epsilon r, that is a relative permittivity, and epsilon 0, that is a relative and absolute permittivity. So this type of particular patch is there. This type of patch is look like a square. So here we will see this is a square type of patch or square type of microstrip antenna is there, and here some microstrip transmission line will be connected. Then the length of patch will be of L. Here this W is for the radiations. Then this is the height of patch is there. Here this will be the top view. We will call this one as a top view, and looking from the side view we will see this is a rectangular patch which will be mounted on a ground plane is there. Again it has a epsilon r relative substrate is there, and that substrate is called as a dielectric substrate. Here we will call this one as a dielectric substrate is there. Again here this will be the microstrip transmission line. Here we will also say microstrip. It is has a microstrip transmission line. This is a dielectric substrate or ground plane is there. This is ground plane, dielectric substrate is there upper side. So afterwards we will see how the radiation will takes place in a microstrip antenna. So here the microstrip or patch antenna is popular for low profile application which has a frequency of above 100 megahertz of signals. Again then usually consist of a rectangular metal patch on a dielectric coated ground plane. This is a rectangular metallic patch which will be mounted on a dielectric ground plane is there. Again microstrip antenna consists of very thin metallic strip placed on a small fraction of wavelength above the ground plane. This is very thin plane is there which will be mounted on a ground plane. Basically this strip patch and the ground plane are separated by dielectric sheet that should be shown on the figures. So this will be separated by some dielectric sheet in between the ground plane and the metallic patch. The radiating patch may be square, rectangular, elliptical, circular or triangular. This type of patch is there. It will be of rectangular, square, elliptical, triangular, and depends on the types of radiation we have to use this type of patch is there. It is mostly widely used. Again here this coaxial feed is there that should be connected to ground plane, from where we have to apply the signal to this patch. After applying the signal this antenna will radiates. Again this type of antenna will be of radiation of half planes, not for the both side of plane is there. After applying the signals to this particular patch it will be radiate like this one. So this will be on one side and this will be on another side like this one. It will be radiate like this. So radiation will be like this one on both sides, but that should be on the half planes, not on the both the planes. Linear and circular polarization can be achieved with microstrip or patch antenna arrays. Here we have single feed mechanism or multiple feed mechanism is also used to increase the directivity. So assume if you want to increase the directivity of the particular antenna, we have to connect it the multiple patch. So multiple signal is also used. The thickness of this particular patch is very small. The wave generated within the dielectric substance undergo reflection to some extent when they arrive at the edge of strips. Means this type of radiation will observe, and after this radiation some sort of wave is there. That should be the disadvantage, and that wave is called as a, what we'll say, surface wave. This wave is called as a surface wave is also generated. That should be the disadvantage. That should be generated due to the some sort of reflections that should be arrive at the edge of strips, resulting radiation only small fraction of incident energy. Therefore, this antenna is considered to be very inefficient, and it behaves more likely a cavity rather than the radiators. Actually, this is a non-efficient antenna is there because it will be work only on this type of cavity. Means that radiation is limited to the particular smaller extents, and due to this particular ground plane, the surface wave is also generated. Then afterwards, we will go for the different types of patch for microstrip antennas. Again, in order to change this type of patch, the radiation will also changes. So here this is the field lines, and this type of radiation will be occurred. Here we have connected the microstrip transmission line or the field line. So here we will call this one as a circular patch. For this, we'll see it is a ground plane. This is a ground plane, and above this some sort of triangular patch is used. So this is a triangular patch antenna. Here we have the elliptical patch, and this is a ground plane. Here we have the hexagonal patch. So different types of patch is there. This will be square, squaring. This is a square wing. So coaxial, this is a ground plane. So different types of patch is just like we'll say circular type of patch, triangular, then elliptical, hexagonal, and the squaring type of patch we have to shoot. So here afterwards we will go for what is the advantage of microstrip or patch antenna. In advantage, we have to use it for low cost. That cost is low because also the size is low. If size is low, then weight is also low. It will be form the linear and circular polarization. Again, it is easy to install, means it will be inbuilt or ready-made antenna is available in the market. Just plug and pay, and easy to fabricate. Then again, what will be the disadvantage? Basically, it has a narrow bandwidth, then radiation in half planes, low power. Because of small size, it has a low power, inefficient. Gain is around 5 to 7 dB. It radiates the surface wave. Like here, that maximum radiation, that some sort of reflection will be occurred on the surface or on the plane. That's why surface wave are generated, and it will be radiate on a half planes like this one. Radiates in a surface wave. Then what will be the uses and applications? It is used in aircraft, spacecraft, missile, mobile, satellite, and it's what last one. What is the frequency range? That is a 100 megahertz. So today what we'll see, that is the introduction of antenna. In introduction we will see what is a function of patch, and the function of ground plane and dielectric substrate in between the ground plane and the metallic patch, how we have connected the coaxial what we'll say coaxial line to the microstrip antenna. Then we'll see basic of microstrip antenna, then structure and working of microstrip antenna, then how it will be radiate, the how the microstrip antenna radiate on half planes, then how it will generate the standing wave. It will be used for multiple applications. Then different types of patch of microstrip antenna like triangular, square, elliptical, hexagonals. Advantage of microstrip antenna and disadvantage of microstrip antenna application and frequency range of microstrip antenna. Thank you.